You know, at some tracks, passing, you take your time. You're methodical about it. You know, you set up the pass beautifully, I shall say. At some tracks, you just blow by people. Go by super fast, you got a bunch more speed. Some tracks, you got to move some people out of the way. Just give them a little love tap and move on by. At Bowman Gray, there's only one option. Obliterate or get obliterated.
Right there.
Yeah, that was the logic tonight at Bowman Gray. We're not even to the main event. We're not even to the last chance qualifier. Tonight was practice qualifying in the heats. Practice and qualifying, not a lot of incidents. We saw some bump and runs like you would see at Martinsville, which is a typical Martinsville pass. But at Bowman Gray, a bump and run is like, it's the kindest way to pass someone. The only other way to pass is to obliterate people. I'm not talking a slight bump and run. Just move them a little bit out of the groove, one groove up. I mean, ship them to the wall or ship them as far up the track as you can. That's what we saw tonight in the heat races. Heat race number 1, we had 2 cautions in 4 laps. Now, you have to add in that caution laps are not counted here at Bowman Gray for the Clash or any of the heat races. But heat number 1 got freaky, nasty, crazy, chaotic, whatever other word you want to put in there, right off the bat. Like lap 2, they were wrecking each other. Austin Dillon just decided to spin just because why not? Sounds fun. Noah Gragson and Justin Haley got into it like 3 times in the span of a lap and a half. And then that resulted in Justin Haley and Kyle Busch making contact because Justin Haley just decided to chop off Kyle Busch. Noah Gragson went spinning. And then Kyle Busch had enough because it's lap 4. This is all in the first 4 laps. I'm not kidding. We had Austin Dillon spinning himself, Gragson and Haley getting into it, Kyle Busch and Justin Haley getting into it. So much in heat race number 1 of 4. It's a 25-lap race. And then Kyle Busch, for a whole caution, just right on Justin Haley's bumper, just beating his bumper. Just won't stop. NASCAR finally comes over the radio. Hey, we're going to need the 8 car to stop that. Thank you very much. And the 8 car says, yeah, okay, you're right. I'll just do it under green. Not much was needed under green, though, because those 2 ended up going their separate ways. But, oh, my goodness. Now, I think we saw a couple of the spins. I think like Josh Berry did like a half spin, or he did a 360 and got it going again. Or there might have been one other caution, but there was nothing eventful outside of that. I mean, the first 4 laps was enough for me for the night. I was like, oh, my goodness, this is just like straight into 2025. This is our, guys, it has been 4 hours of 2025, and it was like just information overload, just throwing so much at you. I mean, from qualifying, the evolution of the track for some groups, and then some groups didn't have it, the wacky qualifying results, and then we get into the heats, and right off the bat, heat number 1 just slap you in the face with wrecks, with Austin Dillon spinning himself, with rivalries potentially brewing at Chevrolet. I needed to take a breath. Thankfully, heat number 2 gave us that breath. Now back in heat number 1, I will wrap this up for heat number 1. Chase Elliott led every single lap. He was about the only person who was not stressed in this heat. Advancing out of heat number 1, though, are 2 of the people we talked about who somehow got involved in incidents and rivalries. We saw Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Noah Gragson, Kyle Busch, and Ross Chastain all advance. Good for them. Applause. Good job. You guys are in the main event. Heat number 2, as I said, pretty tame. I don't even remember if there was a caution in heat number 2. I really don't think. Now, I will say, there's a driver we got to talk about in here. Shane Van Gisbergen started this race 3rd. Has never made a start on a quarter-mile track. Has never driven a Cup car on a quarter-mile track, I should say. He has some short track experience in the Cup Series car. Now, he has a good bit in the Xfinity car, but the Cup Series car, a very different car. Bowman Gray, a quarter-mile track, completely different to anything he's driven in Cup. 10th fastest in qualifying. Qualifies 3rd, for heat number 2. Very impressive result for his first quarter mile, by the way. And this is just a heat race. You got to remember, main things tomorrow. Shane Van Gisbergen holds on in his first ever attempt at the Clash. Shane Van Gisbergen advances to the main event, and he got his elbows out. He used the bumper himself. He said, as I said, remember what I said at the beginning of the video, obliterate or get obliterated? Shane Van Gisbergen, albeit it wasn't really obliterating, but he used his bumper. He moved some people out of the way. He opted to not get obliterated. How about that? I think that's a good way to put it. But Shane Van Gisbergen, in his first ever Clash attempt, you got to remember, he just qualified for the race tonight. The main event is still tomorrow night. He doesn't have to worry about the last chance qualifier. He doesn't have to worry about getting obliterated in another race. Well, one more than he could have. Shane Van Gisbergen, in his first ever attempt at the Clash, qualifies well, 10th fastest on speed in the qualifying attempts. He was in that insane Group B where 5 of the top 10 were from Group B, 2B or whatever it was. We talked about it on the live stream over there. And then he holds his own. He starts third in Heat 2, finishes third in Heat 2, and he advances. Meanwhile, in this one, once again, if you start first, you're in a great position because no one's going to wreck you. No one's going to obliterate you until it's the end of the race. And frankly, these heat races, first place is really about qualifying. The biggest fight is for 5th place because the top 5 from each group make it out. And if you're first or second and no one's close to you, no one's going to do much. I mean, Chase Briscoe was chasing down Chris Buescher for the heat win in Heat 2, and he could have very easily moved Buescher out of the way, but because it's a heat, Briscoe kind of just said, let's just fight it out tomorrow. There's no point in messing around with it tonight. Briscoe lets him go, and the top 5 from heat number 2 were, as I said, Prosper, Texas' own Chris Buescher won the heat. Chase Briscoe second. Shane Van Gisbergen third. He advances. Bubba Wallace and Daniel Suarez. So that's right. All 3 Trackhouse cars advancing. And then another thing. RFK racing at the Coliseum was cursed. The quarter mile at the Coliseum, they never made the Clash. They always missed the cut. Well, how about this? A little bit of a spoiler, but this year, all 3 cars make it into the main event. They've ended the curse. Good for them. And then once again, heat number 3, kind of like heat number 2, not much happened. We had maybe one spin. I couldn't tell you. But Denny Hamlin, just like Chris Buescher, just like Chase Elliott, just dominated from the pole. Led from lap 1, never gave up the lead, and advanced. He won heat number 3. Advancing with him, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano. This is important for later. Joey Logano advances in heat number 3. William Byron, Carson Hocevar, and Alex Bowman. So Joey Logano, the defending champion, he would have had, if he had not qualified for the main event tonight, he had 2 options. 1, run the last chance qualifier tomorrow, or 2, skip the LCQ and take the provisional spot for the highest points finisher in the 2024 standings. Well, thanks to Joey Logano advancing via the initial heat races, that means that Ryan Blaney, his teammate who finished second in the points last year, he is locked into the main event. So Ryan Blaney has the option. He can run in the LCQ tomorrow knowing he has a spot and advance the starting spot by 2 positions. Or he can sit out, avoid the chaos of the LCQ, and just go straight to the main event tomorrow. Because Ryan Blaney did not qualify via the heat races. And then heat 4, back to chaos. Back to stupidity, back to wrecking each other. So the first one, all right, Cole Custer. First race back in the 41. AJ Allmendinger, first race back in the 16. They start bumping each other out of the way. Allmendinger bumps Custer. Custer says, screw you, I'm not letting you pass me. And Custer tries to ride it on the outside. Outside was actually pretty powerful tonight. I was very surprised. And Bowman Gray's weird because the way the safer barriers are at this track, or the way they installed them, the way the walls kick out, is the wall doesn't kick out till about the start-finish line. And so AJ Allmendinger's like, I'm just going to force him outside. I'm going to force, oh crap, we're wrecking. We're wrecking. Everyone's wrecking. And, well, yeah, that was their night. They were done. I mean, they were able to race. They were able to finish the race. Just, in terms of competitiveness, they were done. But what if I told you that was not the hardest wreck of the night? Short track guy Ryan Preece gets bumped one groove out of the way. I mean, John Hunter Nemechek, considering what we saw tonight, a very tame bump and run on Ryan Preece. Just moved him one groove out of the way. The problem is John Hunter Nemechek did not run far enough away. And Ryan Preece, he did not bump and run him. He did not move him up the groove. He did not wash him up the racetrack. He sent John Hunter Nemechek to the campus of Wake Forest. Okay? Ryan Preece had no regard for John Hunter Nemechek there, and he just shipped him. Just so hard into the wall. Gone forever. John Hunter Nemechek for the rest of that heat. That was it. Advancing out of Heat 4. Actually, it worked out pretty well for Preece because he advanced. Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell, Ryan Preece, Austin Cindric, Todd Gilliland. So Tyler Reddick, very similar to the other three winners, led every single lap. But Ryan Preece, oh my goodness. Just shipped him out of there, man. Quite something. And here's the thing. If this was a points race, tonight would be enraging because it'd be like, this is a points race. This counts towards the championship. Like, what are we doing here? But guys, for an exhibition race, I think we got to relax a little bit. Bowman Gray is known for this. They are known for wrecks. They are known for fights. They are known for tempers flaring. This was a classic Bowman Gray night. Like, people shipping each other into the fence. People getting mad at each other over the radio. People bumping each other under caution. I mean, just bizarre stuff at Bowman Gray. Just truly. Tomorrow's going to be crazy. Tomorrow's going to be stupid, just like tonight, but hopefully it's fun. So the starting lineup for tomorrow's main event is Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Brad Keselowski, Chase Briscoe, Joey Logano, Christopher Bell, Noah Gragson, Shane Van Gisbergen, William Byron, Ryan Preece, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Carson Hocevar, Austin Cindric, Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez, Alex Bowman, Todd Gilliland, and then we, of course, have the 3 spots of the last chance qualifier winner, the last chance qualifier runner-up, and presumably Ryan Blaney. So, yeah, NASCAR Heat Night in America. NASCAR's back. I'm so happy. I missed you so much, NASCAR. But, oh my goodness, these heat races, crazy as can be. Bowman Gray living up to the expectations. The Clash at the Coliseum. We saw a little bit of this chaos. I'll touch on that more tomorrow. But tomorrow, LCQ, main event. Kyle Larson could be eliminated. I mean, just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing stuff here. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And once again, tomorrow we will talk about the full main event. Tonight was only the appetizer. Tomorrow's the main course and the dessert, by the way. But I'm looking forward to it. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed tonight. I know it's a little crazy. At times it's a little stupid, but just remember, it's an exhibition race and it doesn't count towards points. Have fun with it.